Shawn, see? Nike Nike shoe. We're back again. I think keeping it to like 2 times a month is a little bit more appropriate. I'm not sure. Just so I can have a bigger collection of music. I don't know. It depends on how much music is being released, okay? It'll really depend on that. But how are you doing? It is Shawn C. I'm back in here for another playlist video. Before we get into the video, just know there's a gaming channel over there called Shawn Cena. You need to go check it out. Finally getting the motivation to post on there a little bit more. I promise I will. I'ma try, okay? No promises. Promise I will. Promise I will. But go subscribe over there, all right? It's some lit gaming video. It's lit. Snack. I feel as if we had a lot of music that came out over the last 2 weeks that in my mind I'm forgetting about, but on paper it's actually pretty relevant. Of course, let's go ahead and mention the first track on this roundup, which is going to be Drake's new track from his Scary Hours EP that includes the track Diplomatic Immunity and God's Plan. Now, I only like one of these tracks more than the other. And I guess my bigger issue with Diplomatic Immunity is knowing that Drake is a certain kind of individual, like a certain caliber of person. I know his fan base views them different than they view most other rappers. Like they don't require as much from him to be as hyped up. Basically, more often than not, Drake can say something that's pretty basic that'll hype up a huge audience as opposed to another rapper out there that might spit it every other bar. And I get that Drake has this charisma about him. He's got this way about explaining things. He makes everything pretty much sound good. But I don't know if people are dense or what, because it's just like some of the lines in Diplomatic Immunity is just like, bro, that wasn't even hard. But we're not here really to focus on that. God's Plan was a great track for me. I like the mood that it set. I like how appropriate it is, even without its really catchy hook. I think there are spaces in between the song that could be finished. I think it actually could include a feature. Trippie Redd might not have been a bad person to have on that track, but that fell through, didn't work out. Now we just got Drake on it. I'm not mad at it. I like the track regardless, and Drake's best line that he may have spit in years is, she say, do you love me? I tell her only partly. I only love my bed and my mama. I'm sorry. Now, I can't speak for all of y'all, but that was hard. Tie that into the fact that I've been waiting on this track for what seems to be a couple months. I'm glad I finally heard it, and it was worth the wait. Do I think it'll have a lot of lasting power? It being the way it is, the song being structured the way it is, probably not. I do think Drake's gonna have to come up with a follow-up after a couple months. I do anticipate a drop from him sometime within April. Next, we got the new Migos album with Culture 2. Now, this was an album that, yes, I was indifferent toward, a little bit less than indifferent toward. And my biggest problem with this album, surprisingly, wasn't just the length. It was me acknowledging Migos as like a really talented rap group. Like, even recently, I don't know how recently, but they said they were like the biggest rap group in history or whatever, or the biggest group in general in history or whatever they said. And it got me thinking, like, in regards to rap, as it pertains to rap, they might not be as legendary as, let's say, an Outkast. They might not be as legendary as like a D12 or like a Wu-Tang, but they are definitely rap's most popular group. Even if their formula in the triplet flow is based off 3-6 Mafia, to say they aren't the most relevant and the most popular rap group in history would just be blind. That being said, I'm really disappointed that a group like the Migos would do what they did on their most recent project. I know everybody's about making money, and I know everybody's about, you know, progressing themselves in their career, but I don't get how sacrificing the thing that made you famous is supposed to somehow make more money for you in the long run. And you look at a group like Migos that literally ooze fashion and look like everything they have is expensive. Like, why do you even need to do this? A bunch of the tracks on that album, Culture 2, were very repetitive. They were very samey. My favorite track on there, Open It Up, is literally a carbon copy of Dead's off Culture 1. And that's the track I wanted to showcase for you today. So if you haven't heard Open It Up, listen to it. But if you've heard Dead's, I guess then there's no point in going to go check out Open It Up, because it's almost the same song, just without a 2 Chainz feature. I love the Migos and what they do, but on this album, it just seems like they made it for themselves and not for the culture. Lil Wayne released a new track, I believe it was maybe last week. I think it's called Bad Wolf or something. I forgot. I forgot what it was called. But I listened to it a couple of times, and In the beginning, Lil Wayne like sounds like a really old man trying to explain his life as if he's got like 5 minutes before he finally passes away and he's got to get all his information out before that time comes. It's just like a lyrical onslaught, bar after bar. I really don't feel the need to even go into any of the bars because there's literally bar after bar after bar. And it's not a song that is enjoyable to me as far as its catchiness factor. I don't like the song in terms of its replay value. The song is very simple and Lil Wayne's flow isn't crazy. I don't really think it's meant to be enjoyed as a song though, but I think its larger point is to be enjoyed from a nostalgic and a technical point of view, because we all know what Lil Wayne has been capable of. I mean, hearing this track isn't surprising if you've listened to Carter 2, Carter 3. I mean, hearing this isn't a surprise, so it's definitely got that nostalgic feeling, like this is some old Wayne finally coming back to spit, just spitting, ripping the mic, and that's it. And like I said, based off of a technical standpoint, Lil Wayne's lyrics can be enjoyed. I mean, I feel like this is gonna be for people who want to really do a deep dive into some lyricism, into some lyrics. They want to hear punchlines over and over again. Like, this is gonna be for you. Bar after bar, punchline after punchline, they just keep on coming. Like, I don't mind, but am I gonna keep playing the song over and over again? No. But if you like Lil Wayne and you haven't heard him in a while, you want some old Wayne, but you also want that new feeling, you want some lyrical onslaught, definitely give this track a listen. The new Eden album called Vertigo, a lot of people have been wanting me to listen to, and I finally finished it. The thing is about this album, what I feel artists need is like a healthy balance of being able to vocally intrigue the audience if they want their production to be so simple and low key. The more I'm listening to music, the more I find kind of indie artists, I'm finding that, or I hear that their music or their production is become so much more narrowed down, so much so that it comes off as uninteresting at times. Pretty much narrows it down so much to the point where your main focus at that point is the singer. Unfortunately, I feel like, you know, and forgive me, you know, if I'm not pronouncing his name right, but Ing's vocals are just as low-key as the production. And it's through majority of this album, and more often than not, it just comes across as moody than it does really passionate or heartwarming. Most of it follows a simple acoustic guitar formula, but I do feel like the best of him shows up on the track Wonder, where, if I'm correct, it sounds like a bit of an amplified guitar with what sounds like a subtle rise in chords every couple seconds. It's almost like, you know, the rise in chords helps to deliver the spacey feeling that the album itself has. It's pretty soft and it's pretty smooth, and it delivers that atmospheric feeling that I feel he would have been going for with the album cover being the way it is. But I don't really think there's a point to this album other than him coming into a couple of revelations about himself and viewing things in a different light and finally accepting kind of new information. It's just kind of like another step in his life, not really meant to be something that's over dramatic, but it's just kind of there, you know. It's really low-key. It really is low-key. If you like moody R&B music, I think this will be your speed. For me, it really doesn't fit because I've heard so much of it last year, and with artists like Joji, I feel like there's a bit of a requirement, at least within my head, that I have, that if you're gonna have some low-key production and low-key vocal tones, then I feel like there should be something extravagant about you, or something really passionate either about your voice or about the production style that you have. And for this album, it just isn't for me. Next album I wanted to give a little bit of shine to was the new JPEGMAFIA. Forgot the name of the album. New album, Veteran, I did enjoy quite a bit. My favorite track off that project being Baby I'm Bleeding. Well, one of my favorite tracks. But the thing I like most about this track is how much of an ear infection it is. This part in the beginning that is like disappears in certain parts of the song, and at first I didn't like this sound, but once I was rid of it in these little breaks in between this track specifically, I realized how much I needed it or how much I missed it. It's like my ears were kind of begging for the sound back after it disappeared. This is off the same album. This is off the same fucking album. And the same thing happens on Thug Tears. Like, it's scraping against my ears. The minute I'm without it, I need it back. Go listen to the project if you haven't. There's a lot of interesting music here. A lot of experimental hip-hop, in my opinion, going on. And JPEGMAFIA is not being politically correct on this album at all, and I like it. So, and the last track I kind of wanted to talk about was the new King to a God from Joey Badass. This track's pretty much a lyrical banger. Oh God! Ugly like Shawn say Billups. Hold up, let me fill up. Chauncey Billups! I feel like it was a low-key shout-out, like a low-key play on my name. I'm just putting it out there. Joey and Dessy pretty much ripped this track up, and it definitely reminds me or gives me more of that East Coast, more of that New York feeling. So if you're looking for that, if you want some more of that, definitely give this track a listen. Check it out, see what you think. Other than that, that's it for the songs playlist this week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed some of the things I had to say. If you didn't, you can suck my... Yeah, I really want you guys to enjoy these songs. I want there to be a very healthy mix of songs that you have to listen to this week. We're going into February. We're finally exiting the winter. I feel like this is just going to be our last month of dealing with some really cold weather. So yeah, definitely enjoy this moment because summer is right around the corner. Thank you for watching. It's been Shawn C. Got another video that I'm about to do. You probably won't see it today, but I'm recording it, so it is what it is. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. It's been me. It's been real. See ya.